Energy drink. The modern day potions for anyone allergic to being tired, bored, or God forbid emotionally stable.
You all know the vibe. Not fully awake, not fully asleep, just kind of buffering. Like a TV trying to get signal on top of the World Trade Center in 2001. And these drinks are everywhere. Gas stations, gyms, college lecture halls. And every single one of these companies promises you the exact same thing.
This drink to crush your day.
Or at least survive long enough to make it through your 3 p.m. existential crisis. But here's the real question that nobody's asking. What are we actually drinking? Is it energy? Or is it a carbonated anxiety smoothie with claw marks on it? With some weird name like Once upon a time, humans drank water. Maybe coffee if they were feeling a little bit edgy. Now if the drink can doesn't have neon colors or a limited edition on it, essentially you're just a hydration peasant. Ever meet someone who leads with their drink of choice?
Hi, I'm Kyle. I deadlift 455 and only drank Ultra Mango Sunrise.
Majority of the people drinking this stuff don't seem that concerned with staying awake either. It's just more about trying to feel something. Energy drinks are no longer beverages anymore. They are accessories, fashion statements, liquid clout, if you will. People will walk around holding these things like it's more important than their child. And of course, we've all heard this one before. I drink 3 energy drinks a day. I'm totally fine. Are you really? Because your eyelids are blinking in Morse code right now. We've basically just added taurine to the food pyramid. Grains, dairy, adrenaline, existential dread, and whatever happened to water? Doesn't fizz, doesn't glow, doesn't whisper to your adrenaline glands like a caffeinated demon trying to open your third eye. But no. Tell me more about this electric mango claw surge that helps you stay so focused. You realize there are people drinking this stuff before bed and will claim it helps them sleep. Is there any possible way for you to sound like more of an addict? And has anyone actually taken a moment and looked at the flavors these companies are making? Almost every can of Monster has the word ultra in it. Not to mention, every single can looks like a teenager on Adderall with a grudge against millennialism. Neon fonts, holographic lighting, warning labels that say, not for mere mortals. Honestly, at this point, I would not be surprised at all if they're just selling jet fuel that has a bunch of artificial sweeteners in it. And can we stop with the lie that these make you more productive? They do not in the slightest, all right? They just give you so much anxiety you feel like you have to do something. And while you're bouncing off the walls like a possessed blender, you know who's actually winning? Spoiler alert, it's not you. It's the marketing team. You know, the people who convinced you that drinking a glitter-flavored beverage is the key to happiness.
Let's talk marketing. Because energy drink companies are not just selling you energy, they're selling you a personality. You're not just buying energy, you're buying a $4 can that's supposed to define your personality.
You got Red Bull, for the guy who thinks parkour is his whole philosophy. Monster, that's for all the guys with tribal tattoos who spend all their time in the gym. Bang and Rain energies are for people who think that chugging 300 milligrams of caffeine makes you immortal. Celsius is garbage. And Prime is for 12-year-olds who think Logan Paul is a nutritionist and a prophet. Not to mention, the branding on these things is surgical. Slate cans, loud fonts, colorways that look like a rave threw up on a NASCAR. You're no longer buying drinks, all right? You're buying FOMO with a side of heart palpitations. These cans do not look healthy in the slightest. They look like something you'd find in the glove box of a Mad Max car. Also, have any of you actually taken a moment and tried to read the ingredients label on any of these energy drinks? All right, let's get sciencey here. You've just shotgunned enough caffeine to counteract a bear tranquilizer. What happens to your body next? Caffeine, it blocks adenosine, which is the chill out chemical that tells your brain it's bedtime. So instead of winding down, your brain goes into overdrive. That laser focus you feel, that is your body preparing to have hand-to-hand combat with the devil himself. So now that we know what happens, how much actually is too much caffeine to have? Well, an 8-ounce coffee is 95 milligrams of caffeine. A Monster sits around 160 milligrams. Bang and Rain, a ridiculous 300 milligrams. The FDA max, 400 milligrams. So even if you consume those, you're still fine because you just drunk one a day, right? Majority of energy drinks now have just artificial sweeteners in them. No more sugar. Thank God we got rid of that. But there is a slight catch with that. When your brain tastes sweet, it expects calories, and then in return, it gets nothing. You basically short circuit your body's reward system, which then cues intense cravings, snack attacks, and a confused metabolism. And some studies do suggest that sweeteners may actually wreck your gut biome, confuse insulin responses, and cause bloating and GI chaos. Long-term effects, still a scientific shrug. Short-term, your gut starts throwing a temper tantrum, and you call it zero sugar wellness. Alright, that took a lot of time. Let's go ahead and power through the rest of this mystery soup. Taurine, often 1,000 milligrams plus per drink, combined with your caffeine. Science says you'll probably be fine. Meanwhile, your pancreas is crying out, guarana, a natural caffeine source, which is 2 to 4 times stronger than coffee beans. L-carnitine helps burn fat, but only at high doses. So in reality, it's just a marketing scam by how much they actually put in there. It's really just like placebo with a gym membership. B vitamins. If you're deficient, great. If not, you spent $3 to basically pee neon. And of course, proprietary blend. Could be fairy dust, could be ground up gremlin teeth. You'll never know. Now, stacking too much caffeine with this entire list of mystery ingredients could result in rapid heartbeat, jitters, anxiety, insomnia, GI distress, twitching, nausea, and in the rare cases, seizures or caffeine toxicity. I'm sorry, what? Caffeine toxicity kicks in around when you've had 1.2 grams of caffeine within a short window. That's only 4 bang energies right there. Caffeine half-life is in between 5 to 6 hours. I don't think a lot of people actually understand that. That 3 p.m. recreational better than soda substitute is still slapping your nervous system by 9 p.m. And that's honestly where the cycle begins. You know, bad sleep leads to more caffeine. Eventually, you're 80% taurine. And nowhere is this stimulant spiral celebrated more than, of course, as we all know, gym culture. The sacred ground where rest goes to die.
Gym culture and energy drinks are honestly the closest thing to a match made in heaven, simultaneously being the most toxic relationship you can possibly imagine. You most certainly can't live with these things, but you can't hit your PRs without them.
I don't think anyone in their right mind thinks these drinks are actually about performance. It's just a ritual at this point. Crack a can, smack your chest, stare into the void consisting entirely of your sleep paralysis demons. People treat these things like they are holy relics. Bang, Rain, Monster. Do any of those things actually sound like you're supposed to drink them? The only reason we continue to drink these is 1, we're addicted, and 2nd, we built up our entire identity around pounding as many white monsters in our face as we can each morning before sunrise. Sometimes your body is not asking for more caffeine. It just wants a nap, a singular carb, maybe a visit to your therapist. We've created this myth that recovery equals weakness for some strange reason. If your success depends on stimulants just to feel normal, you don't have the grind, you just have coping mechanism in a can. Maybe the reason we drink this stuff is because we're trying not to feel powerless or tired or numb or disconnected. Sometimes the strongest things we can do is just stop pretending we're fine.
Let's face it, we're not addicted to these things because they taste good, even though there are some pretty gnarly flavors in here. We're addicted because we're so exhausted all the time. We're exhausted from work. We're exhausted from the expectations society puts on us. And we're exhausted from convincing ourselves that burnout is a personality trait. I mean, these cans are pretty much just like putting a band-aid over a bullet hole, except in this case, it's just our chronic fatigue and emotional depletion.
But real energy, that doesn't come from a can. It comes from sleep, food, connection. So next time you reach for a can, ask yourself, am I really fueling my body? Or am I just trying to outrun how drained I actually am? Sometimes the biggest flex isn't continuing to grind, it's knowing when to stop. So take care of yourself. Put the can down. Go drink some water. After, of course, you finish your 20-ounce Monster, because these things are way too good to pass up on.